Hi, it's the Irish Gypsy here to bring you your November 2017 general readings. Thank you so much for joining us here today. Welcome to any newcomers who may be here for the first time. Always thank you for those of you who continue to follow, like, share, subscribe to my YouTube channel, for taking the time to send all your wonderful feedback, support, and comments, which are always welcome, always appreciated. Keep them coming. Thank you so much, you guys. And always a big thank you in addition to those of you who continue to keep me so occupied and busy with personal one-on-one readings, both my new clients and my regular ones. It's always an honor and a pleasure to read for you, and I am always grateful to be able to do so. Thank you very much. And if any of you are interested in a personal one-on-one reading with me and you haven't read with me before, you have and you've forgotten the information, you can go to my YouTube channel's homepage, click on the About button or word for more information about me, what I do, the services I offer. I do a wide variety of types of readings, live or recorded. Love and romance, of course, compatibility charting, career work and job, finances. I do 6 and 12-month overviews that cover every area of your life or specific areas of your life. General readings focused on whatever you might need help and guidance on. I do channeled messages, cleansings, and so on, and various different spreads and lengths of times. And I do readings full-time 5 to 6 days a week. It is what I do. So turnaround time is usually pretty quick. I'm almost always able to get back with you in the first day of initial contact with information. And scheduling personal readings live or recorded can be as soon as a few days, upwards of 3 weeks. But it's typically within a 1 to 2 week period of time we can set something up for you. So if you're interested, contact me. My contact information is also under that About button. You can email me directly at maggie1mcguire@gmail.com. I would be delighted to work with you. You can also find me under the smartphone app Instant Go under Irish Gypsy. The link to my profile there is under the About button as well. You just click on it, it'll take you right to that. It's a smartphone app, Instant Go. And it just puts me at your fingertips. It's if you have it's same day, almost instantaneously, or within the same hour or two, the same day, unless you do it in the middle of the night, in which case you have to wait until I wake up. It's a really cool app. If you just have 1 or 2 quick questions you need a simple answer to, or you have a decision you need to make on a fly, something you want to touch base on, 1 or 2 quick questions, or just a very short little chat read, you can contact me through that as well. It's just a really cool way of keeping me at your fingertips for the shorter, faster, less intense, complex things. For a more in-depth, traditional looks and spreads, for readings with me, just email me and we'll set something up for you as quickly as possible, live or recorded. And my contact information, my email and my Instago link is also at the bottom of every video that I post too, under the title, under the description, so you can see it there as well. Make sure to check your rising and your moon sign videos as well. You may find that one of them may play out a little more predictively for you or resonate for you a little more some months than others. And just by watching all 3, if you know them and if you can, it gives you just more pieces of the picture, a more comprehensive look at what's going on in your life for the time frame that the reading covers. The reason we always advise you do this, if you can, is because these are general readings and there's so many of you watching, like thousands of you watching. So of course it would be impossible for them to mean exactly the same things in exactly the same areas of your life in exactly the same degree and intensity. Regardless of what area of your life this may resonate in, to whatever degree or intensity, the energy fundamentally remains the same, but the specifics and details may vary. So try to watch your sun, moon, and rising if you know them and if you can. All right, enough of that. Let's move right into this. I know a lot of you guys don't like the long intros, but just feel free to fast forward right through them until the part where you see me start to lay the cards down and hold them up, which is now. So this video is for the fire sign of Leo for the month of November 2017. Leo, November 2017. What is in store for our lovely Leos, our feisty felines, for November 2017? Leo. Okay, Leo. We begin with the 9 of Pentacles, followed by the Page of Swords, We have the Six of Wands, followed by the Seven of Pentacles, the Page of Cups, followed by the Eight of Pentacles, and the Four of Swords, followed by the Six of Swords. From the bottom of the deck, your overall energy for the month is the Hierophant. Let's just take a look here. Well, I feel this more specifically oriented in a certain way. I'm not getting too many different stories and messages. So this may resonate more for a specific group of Leos out there watching it. There's an emphasis on work or projects, career path of some kind, what you do. It could be a business as well, or something which takes a lot of your time and effort. There's a sense of thinking about it and of working on it, perhaps doing things to improve a project you're working on, or a business you're working on, or that you're building or developing. Maybe ways to learning new things and ways of making it better as well. Your overall crowning card, which I'm going to start with, your crowning card representing your overall energy for the month is the Hierophant, which is a major arcana card, and it's a card of the norm, convention, tradition, culture, family history, the conventional path, walking on the sidewalk, not the grass, coloring within the lines, belonging to large groups, whether it can represent organized religions, institutions, corporations, things with weight and history and tradition, culture as well. Relationships, it can represent taking things to the next sensible level, deeper level of commitment, obligation, duty, responsibility. The bigger picture, the bigger cause, the larger thing, wisdom beyond the personal. There is sometimes a certain sacrifice of self-expression and individuality that may come with the Hierophant if you're joining a cause or a group of some kind. But the payoff being that you get to be under the shelter of that umbrella or belong to a group where everybody's kind of doing the same thing, and you have that kind of surrounding and protection too. It's neither a good nor a bad card, as I don't really feel like a lot of the cards in the tarot are. It's wisdom beyond the personal. It just means the bigger established thing, convention and tradition, which I feel like it is for you here, this overall energy and theme for the month. I feel like there may be something you're doing, whether it's something you've been doing for a while or a different direction you're going in, job, work, career, a project perhaps, or just a different path, something that consumes a lot of your time and energy. And I feel like it either represents your individuality, or you're going your own path or your own way, perhaps breaking away from a larger group, whether it's a religious path, maybe leaving an organized business or a steady job, or even a religious path, or that you may be at odds with it because of what you do or what you do that takes up, whether if it's a specific job or career or business. It could even be a relationship. That takes up a lot of your time, focus, and energy. It may not be approved of by perhaps your church, your religious path, your family, culture, tradition, the norm. You may be kind of bucking the system somehow in the month of November, Leo, in some way. And again, what area of your life this may resonate. It's going to vary depending on who's watching. The specifics and details and intensity may vary, but the energy fundamentally remains the same. We have the Nine of Pentacles and the Page of Swords here, earth and air energy. So earthy, tangible, day-to-day world we live in, money, finances, job, resources, assets, tangible work and effort. And then swords, which is air energy, thoughts, words, ideas, communication, belief systems, how we look at things, communication. Nine of Pentacles is a card of independence, self-sufficiency, self-empowerment, going your own way, enjoying the fruits of your labor and knowing that they come as a result of your own labor. Nobody handed anything to you. Everything that this woman is enjoying, which symbolizes abundance, prosperity, just feeling really good with who she is and where she's at with life, or him. Uh, Nobody can take it away from her because nobody handed it to her in the first place. Everything she's enjoying, the place that she's at, how she's feeling is because of what she's done, the effort she's put into it. So it's individuality, self-expression, self-sufficiency, empowerment. Just feeling like you're at a really good place in life, whether you're by yourself or with somebody else. Because of what you've done, you feel secure and stable and grounded in who you are and the path that you're on. Now, it's accompanied by the Page of Swords, which pages can represent young people or children. They almost always represent being at the start of something, the introductory path of something, as young people usually are. They can also represent messages and messengers. It could be just news, information, messages, because swords is all about that, information, words, and ideas. They represent being at the introductory start to something. The Page of Swords could often represent a new way of doing something, a new way of looking at something, being at the start of a new path, which you're kind of excited about. The pages still have a lot of growing up to do, a lot of maturing, a lot to learn, but they're very eager and excited to get started on it. It's kind of like just beginning to build up momentum, starting off with a clean slate, taking charge of your own destiny. And this is the Page of Swords, so it's learning, knowledge, information too. So you could be a new way of doing something, going back to school, perhaps learning a new something, a course of instruction that's part of your being independent, self-sufficient, and self-empowered. And it could be part of the path that's leading you to that as being your goal, part of what's enabling you to be in the place that you're at, which is independent and feeling very good about it. You could be learning some new ways of doing that. If that's not your goal, if you haven't reached it yet, you're learning new ways of adding to that, increasing that, or reaching that, attaining that, or just improving upon it. And that could be where you are in terms of job, your own business, whether it's working for yourself or working for somebody else in a successful sort of way, a project you're involved in that you've put in a lot of work, successful work, just by utilizing your own methods, your own ideas, and creativity. In the relationship area of your life, this could actually be being single and happy, not being attached or not being married, and not really either wanting it or actually not being focused on it too much. And that may be going against, some culture, tradition, or norms. You may be feeling some pressure to, why aren't you with someone? Why aren't you married? Why don't you have kids? It could be that as well. Some of you, it's just going to be however you've chosen to live your life, invest your time in, work at, work for, build. Again, I feel like it may be going against convention, tradition, culture, family, maybe religion even in some instances. But you're just kind of, it feels like it's kind of outside pressure, external pressure, and you're feeling it, and you may be affected or influenced by it by one degree or another, but you're still kind of doing your own thing during the month, which is actually quite lovely, even though there is still this kind of, sort of energy. So next to that, we have the Six of Wands and the Seven of Pentacles. The Six of Wands, beautiful card. Wands is fire energy. The energy of this suit is creation energy. It's like unformed energy that we use to create, build, manifest, change, movement, action, power. It's very fluid, dynamic energy, creativity, artistry, passion, enthusiasm, fire. Six of Wands is a card of victory, triumph, celebration. After a struggle or after a lot of effort into achieving or accomplishing something, he's riding back into town. He's been successful. He's triumphant, and he's being acknowledged for that, either in an informal way, maybe by friends, family, or people that know how hard you've worked to kind of build what you have now or reach the point that you're at now. Could even be in a more formal way, receiving a reward, a recognition, a promotion, other people recognizing your talent and your work in a public way as well. Now it's paired with the Seven of Pentacles, so we have more earth energy here. The Seven of Pentacles, sevens are a card of assessment, reflection, motives, motivations, a card of like looking at something, considering something, and kind of weighing it out, assessing it. It's harvest time on this card. This woman is looking at what she has. This Nine of Pentacles is a great energy. She's looking at the harvest. She's planted the seed. She's grown it, taken care of it. The fruit is ripe and now it's ready to be picked. She hasn't quite started yet, though, because right now she's taking a look and asking herself, did I get what I expected to get? Was it worth the effort? Did I get what I put into it? Did I get more than what I put into it? Did I get less? Is it worth picking and continuing the same crop? Should I pick it and then try and modify it somehow to make it better? Should I just abandon it and do something else? It's a card of reflection and assessment based on what your efforts, what you have now, what's around you, what you've built and created. It looks like where you're at, and at least your either your goal or your close goal or where you're at, is you've done pretty well for yourself, and you've worked hard to get to where you're at. And it looks like you're kind of looking at this and figuring out maybe some of you are maybe just learning new things, searching for and finding and implementing new ideas to make whatever this is better. Some of you, because of this maybe external pressure that's coming from a place of an energy of culture, tradition, family, maybe some disapproval, being outside the norm, kind of going your own way, walking off the beaten path. You may be looking at everything you have and going, is it worth it? Because it's kind of contrasting or going against this, is there a way that I can change it and have it conform enough? Or, just that kind of contemplation, reflection energy. Can I make these people, this job, this institution, my family, whatever it is, happy by changing it? Can I do it differently? Would I have to give it up? Am I willing to do that? Just this kind of contemplation energy. Now, next to that, we have the Page of Cups and the Eight of Pentacles. So we have another page here. So I feel you have two pages here. Any more than that, and maybe it would be a little too maybe childish or immature, or not being maybe practical or reality grounded. But the two pages you have in correlation to each other and in distance as well. I don't feel that. I feel like the Page of Swords is, learning new things, new ideas, implementation, maybe new instruction, schooling. The Page of Cups is water energy, and the Tarot, this is the energy of emotion. The element of water governs the suit of cups, so it's about that watery, fluid world of our feelings, emotions, and relationships as well. The Page of Cups could be a message that's emotional in nature, typically quite positive. Again, it's about being at the start of something, a beginning of something, but it's emotionally, it's a very happy, positive card. It's having almost a childlike faith and outlook on something in terms of your emotions and feeling really good about where you're at the start of something. You may have in the month of November, be implementing some new things in work, job, career, project of some kind. Because it's paired with the Eight of Pentacles, which is the card of working a lot, maybe working overtime, maybe burning the candles at both ends, being quite busy, or repetitive work, doing the same thing over and over again, but being successful at it because you're at the 8 already. We have the 8 and 9 of Pentacles both. These 7 represent what he's already put aside because he has a goal, a vision, a dream, whatever he has to do, working hard at it. He's working towards something and he's being successful at it because of his dedication, perseverance, regardless of, maybe getting tired or sometimes feeling a bit burnt out. He's still focused on his goals, on attaining his goals. And the Page of Cups paired with this could mean that you have a fresh emotional aspect on your job, your work, your career, your business, where you're at in life, whatever it is you're devoting a lot of your time and energy to, regardless of how other people feel about it. It could be that these new ideas or perspectives or course of learning or some new implementation has you feeling kind of a refreshed and renewed sense of emotional happiness and vigor around what you're doing or where you're spending the majority of your time. This could, again, you can also translate this energy into any area of your life, into relationships. I'm not getting too much of that, except that this external, perhaps pressure or undercurrent of, what you're doing, it doesn't conform in some way to something, whether it's a specific person or family, culture, tradition, group, etc. Now, at or towards the end of November 2017, it looks like you've worked hard throughout the month. And you're maybe feeling that a bit at the end of the month, feeling tired, overwhelmed, maybe a bit worn out and exhausted, needing to take a break, maybe taking some time off or needing to. And it could be compounded, caused or even exacerbated or compounded by this Hierophant energy, feeling, trying to stay focused on what you know is important for you, working towards your goals, being very focused and dedicated to that. But at the same time, still continuously feeling this pressure too that it's not quite fitting with something else or someone else. And it looks like at the end of the month you're a bit tired because we have the Four of Swords and the Six of Swords. But it's still a good energy. It means that you've put a lot into it. You may be feeling tired, worn out, exhausted, needing to withdraw, take some time off. You might be doing that. If there's been any conflict or struggle directly with whatever this energy of the Hierophant represents, the Four of Swords would represent taking a temporary step back, withdrawing from conflict, even if it's not permanent, withdrawing from conflict just to recoup, recover, maybe go within, rest, recharge yourself. And it's paired with the Six of Swords, which is a card of peace, restoration, healing. It can sometimes be a quieter, more somber energy, but it's still really good. It represents that a chaotic or challenging or difficult time is behind you, and you're moving towards a more settled, peaceful, balanced, stable place in your life, particularly if you're working towards some financial, monetary, material places, and you're coming from a place that hasn't been quite that. You're not quite to the other shore yet and on solid ground, but you're definitely moving towards there. Peace, respite, restoration, healing too, if there's been conflict and strife and struggle as well. I feel like this is going to continue to play out in December. I'm not sure if there's anything you can do about this Hierophant energy as long as you're committed to the path that you're on. It's just kind of you're doing your thing and you wish that it would be more in alignment. But in order to do that, then you have to give up something that's about your independent, self-sufficient, self-empowerment. You're not willing to do that. So it puts you somewhat outside of someone, a group, something, a norm, a way of life or tradition, but it just kind of is. It's just one of those things that kind of is. So it looks like a steady full month for you, but good, solid, stable, and some new ideas and new things and a refreshed sense, a renewed sense of happiness or vigor or purpose around your job, whatever it is that this resonates for you as, whatever you're putting your attention and effort into building, growing, working on, and making better. So Leo, it's a really nice reading. I really like that for you. That pretty much wraps up your November 2017 general reading. I hope you enjoyed it, that at least some of you found it useful in some way. I thank you very much for watching it. Again, if any of you are interested in a personal one-on-one reading with me, live or recorded, you can go to my YouTube channel's homepage, click on that About button for more information and my contact information. My contact information is also listed at on every video that I post under the title of it, under the descriptor. You can email me directly at maggie1mcguire@gmail.com. I do a wide variety of readings and I'd be happy to connect with you as soon as possible. And you can also find me for those one or two quick short answer questions or really short same day reads. You can also find me on the smartphone app Instant Go under Irish Gypsy, and the link that will take you directly to my profile there is also listed under the About button and with my email on every video that I post. So I will see you all again in a couple of weeks, Leo, for the November 2017 mid-month readings. And until then, as always, I wish each and every one of you joy, peace, blessings, and a happy life. Take care, and I hope to see you back again soon. Bye-bye.